And what is up, guys? Crazy Hype here, back with another Marvel Contest of Champions video. This is a 2024 tier list. I wanted to put another tier list video out for you guys. This is the 2K version of the tier list. And, you know, this is a different way of looking at how we going to rank our champs. So there's a lot of tier lists, obviously, out there with, you know, the way they rank it with these titles, man, it just gets crazy, man. The Omni, you know, all this weird ass names that I see out there. And I mean, shout out to these people putting out these tier lists, man. No shade, definitely no shade. You know, I got my own version here. I wanted to simplify it for everybody and make it more, you know, more of a list that, you know, just kind of has that right setting to where everything is easy to read, easy to understand, ranks the champs the right way, and gives them a rating from 50 to 99. Okay, so you know, this tier list I think is much cleaner than some of the other ones you see out there. And like I said, shout out to those people who put together these tier lists, because I do watch all videos when it comes to tier lists, because, you know, I got to learn as much about the game as possible, even though I've been here from the start. Got the full 9 years in. Looks like we're in our 10th year going with this game. And, you know, been in there a long time. So I'm hoping I have enough know-how here to kind of lead you guys to, you know, who you should be ranking up and stuff like that. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. Let's not waste any more time, because we got a lot to cover here. We want to kind of cram it in the video. So last year's tier list, what we did is we had Cosmic over here in the front, and we spent a lot of time talking about a lot of Cosmic champions. So you know, skill was the last group on this end, so we want to flip it this time and try to give some love to some of these other classes here first, because we end up trying to save time towards the end, not having enough time to cover everything. So let's jump right in. And, you know, skill class, right? Uh-oh, we have a mistake here. Let me see here. Let's go back. You know what it is? This Kingpin was here. All right, so we just add Kingpin back in. We know he's the big boss. We got him rated as a 93 here, which is a extremely high rating. So he's the hands down best skill champion in the game. We're not going to talk too much about him. We pretty much, I think everyone knows what this guy's capable of. Obviously, if you've been playing the game for some time, you know this guy's the god of all gods. So we got to give him the highest rating here in the skill class. Okay, good. We got that. All right, so we got Kingpin up there. Kate Bishop has really creeped up to be that queen. You know, she's right up there at the top, man. She surpassed a lot of champions here. We had to give her a 91. She's just back. I mean, the only thing with her is you have to have a little bit of skill requirement here. And a lot of times, I'm not going to lie, I don't like to rate champions that have a skill requirement all the way to the top, because, you know, a lot of times people are just going to shy away and not learn how to play these champions. You know, it's kind of like this Quake theory where, man, people know how to Quake, man. They just go nuts, man. I mean, you don't get touched by the enemy or nothing like that. But let's just be honest here. You got so many players in the game and they're not going to Quake. I don't know how to Quake. So that's another argument right there for me. So, you know, I just never got into Quake, man. I just don't want to use Quake, whatever. I just don't want to have to learn that thing. But Kate Bishop, you got to learn how to do that perfect release to really get the value out of her. So she's one of these rare champs that I actually rated her a 91 here at the top of the list too. And, you know, it's that Necropolis, man. It's that she crushes Necropolis so well. We got to give her respect. Nick Fury's always been on the top of the game, man. I mean, he did kind of get trumped here by Kate, but I want to mention something here, you guys. 91 and a 91 is the same rating. So I'm basically saying the champ is pretty much even. We're not going to put 91.56 and those types of things. We're just going to stick to the number. So this is, whether one's in front of the other, Nick could very well just be here. Kate could be here. They're both a 91. It's just the same thing. So let's not argue about who's on front of who. I mean, we are, human nature is going to have us arguing, saying, oh, this person's in front of this one. And like, and we're going to get into some more of this when we get to the controversial ratings here, which I know you guys are kind of peeking around this way. I should hide some of this so you don't see it yet. But let's hurry up and get through this. Nick Fury, man, this guy's Mr. Consistent. He's always there. Now Aegon has made a massive comeback, man. This man, last list, the list we had last year, we had this guy rated, low, because this guy was off the map, man. It was just nothing for him, out of the meta. He can't do nothing for you in battlegrounds. He can't do nothing for you really in wars. This guy just got useless, man. We haven't had content for him in such a long time. Necropolis came back, saved this guy tremendously. This guy's, man, I didn't even realize my Aegon was rank 3. Cause when I went to go, I thought I had a rank 4 or whatever. The guy was rank 3. I'm like, what the hell? Like, he has that high PI rating, so he's showing up at the top of some of your champion lists and stuff. And I had to rank him from rank 3 all the way to rank 6. And what I call rank 6 is obviously your primordial dust and taking your champ up and increasing their value that way. So I just for short just call it rank 6. So I took this guy straight up to rank all the way up. Gave him the dust, and then I went into Necropolis and crushed that with him. Obviously, he's not the cheapest. Like we said, Kate is even better than Aegon, but Aegon is that consistent guy who can brute force his way through the entire content. There's only a few fights in Necropolis he can't handle. Moving on, Black Cat now has really stepped up. And look, I had her rated a little bit lower. She was kind of like teetering around here, an 88, 87. Just a few points difference, and she could very well be a 90. You know what, let's give her a 90. And the reason why I'm going to change her to a 90 is because the amount of people that use her, and see, that's how I like to, do this list here. I like to look at how other people use the champ. You follow me? Like, we got to see, so people get caught up and say, man, this champ is so damn good and she has to be like, that's like if someone right now is arguing this, hold on, let me just save that argument for a little while. But if someone's arguing that some champ is just better than another, like if someone right now could say Mantis is better than Black Cat, let's just say, right? And I mean, they're about the same here. You had an 89 and an 88. I think Mantis is on her way up actually still. I want to say she has some value. She's getting much more valuable. I'm going to give her an arrow up because she could even increase her value here. Masakre, I'm going to give him an 88 here. I don't use this guy too much, but I did use him a couple of times, and I said, damn, this guy doesn't. You hit them on the block, man, when you build up those charges, man. You build up your bat, and I'm like, damn, it's just insane. Same thing with Valkyrie here. This is all the set. Now, look, there's a lot of clutter here in this. I want to call this like a B+ category. All these 88s and 87s coming up. And there could be, I could see people right now, like I was saying just a while ago, people raging that, oh my God, Baron Zemo can't be an 87. Like something ridiculous. Like, let's say you Baron, you know what they would argue? They would say Baron Zemo's better than Shang-Chi, for example, right? Let's say someone feels that way. I mean, it's just 1 point here, It's just 1 point difference. And look, I even gave Baron Zemo's kind of on his way up. Now, for a little bit, I kind of had him a little bit down, but I had him a little further down here, and then I realized, like, man, this guy right now is a beast, to be honest with you. So I kind of got to give him his props right now. I guess what kind of pissed off a lot of people, even me, was that they just gave everybody a free Baron Zemo out of nowhere. And a lot of us had already, acquired a Baron Zemo the hard way by pulling them out of a crystal or whatever. Some people could have even bought. Imagine you bought this champ. Can you imagine that shit? Can you imagine buying crystals, spending a bunch of crystals to get Baron Zemo when he first came out? Which I actually know people who did that because that's how these big alliances are. And then they just turn around and give everybody a free Zemo. And then when they gave free Zemos, I'm like, why not give me a chance to maybe give me 2 other options for 2 other champs? Maybe I could have already had Zemo. I didn't need another Zemo, and he was already duped and whatever the hell you want to say. And now, like, free Zemos for everybody. So that was pretty ridiculous. I ain't gonna lie. They should have gave us a few options, some kind of way to trade them in, or I don't know, something. Anyway, going back to the list, you got Shang-Chi. Crit Monkey here is a beast. Valkyrie obviously could be rated higher here. I know a lot of Valkyries, but again, skill require. I'm not gonna say she's really skill requirement. You know what? Her value's going up, and the reason why is because champs don't throw specials and champs don't dash forward anymore, right? The AI is all jacked up according to the community. Obviously, it is. We all know it is. It's horrific right now, and Kabam doesn't really want to admit that the AI is effed up. So with the way the AI is behaving, your best bet, they're not throwing specials. Your best bet is to just Valkyrie everything while they're sitting in the corner just blocking and just not doing anything. You might as well just use her. You know what I'm saying? Mole Man, I always got a lot of love for Mole Man. The thing with Mole Man is this guy, I feel like he's one of the only champs that can stop evade right out the gate. Like I know there's champs like Falcon but see, Falcon can only have locked on for oh so long, and then you gotta have deal with the cooldown. I hate that crap. Now, Mo Man also has a cooldown if you want to, ramp up your damage and go into his frenzy mode and all that shit. But if you just don't go into frenzy and you just keep your charges, under control and you want to stop evade, this guy stops evade 24. There's no mix master, none of this BS. You just go in with Mo Man and it's done. Like Venom can only stop spiders from not evading, and then you got all these science champs that stop evade with a lot of slow. Slow is great, but look, let's say you're using someone like Spider Gwen here to stop evade. You still got to do it heavy. You still got to parry heavy to get the slow on, and then it's gonna also run out and you have to knock them down again with a heavy. So like it's those types of mechanics. And then there's a lot of SP1 champions that can slow you. Then there's this new decelerate that champions like anti-venom can do, and there's all this nonsense. But what just stops evade, all evade, everything that evades, just stop it all, is Mo Man. And that's an extremely valuable. I'm talking too much about this one champ because we do have 265 champs in the game. Let's take a second here to look at. See, look, the game has 262 champions in all. On our list here, we have 265 champions. And that's because we added in the 2 new champions for January, which is Bullseye White Tiger. And then we added Deathless KG, who's not in the game yet. And we TBA'd all these 3 champions. We're not going to rate them yet, even though Bullseye's probably going to land somewhere here, or maybe a little higher. White Tiger, I've already seen some videos of her doing a lot of damage, but let's move on. So Massacre, Crit Monkey, Valkyrie, Mole Man, Baron Zemo, Falcon, always strong, Killmonger. Stealth Suit's on his way up. He's back in the meta. He's doing some things. Moondragon, amazing damage if we can really, still a newer champ to the game, but that 7-star that people are pulling, is doing some real damage out there. Crossbones, same thing, the 7-star. He has a lot of high damage. Some people could argue he's a little bit better. He could be up here with these B+. He's still a B+. Still a B+. Now Black Panther is a champ here. I don't use this guy, but I know top tier alliances, they really do rank up and use this guy. So again, user ability throughout the community. So I try not to set this list to where we're just talking about some champ that's great, or some videos we've seen people using champs that are phenomenal, but like more of like champs that most people use. When you're in a war right now and you look at who's the offensive characters that alliance members bring, and even the opposing alliance, you ever take a peek at what they bring, who they're using to clear their wars and platinum wars and tier 2, 3, 4, and 5 wars? Like, you got to look at this stuff and really see who are the champs people are using, right? All right, so Black Panthers is one of these useful champs that's kind of all over the place. He's in the meta, so we got to give him his credit here. Deadly Origin, Misty Knight, Atuma. We're not going to go through every champ here, obviously. Chilif is new. She's pretty good. Elsa is on her way up. Korg has no offensive ability here at all. And Agent Venom was back for a little while with that Trinity synergy, but it's just because he needs those other 2 champs, it's hard to. I had him rated really high up here last tier list, but man, that incinerate damage is like, there's almost nothing in the game like that crap with the synergy, but it reminds me of Cable with the parry heavy when he's with Apocalypse, but this guy needs two other champs. He needs Craven, and Craven sucks. So just kind of peeking through the list here, Ragnarok. He had a decent rating here. This guy's on his way down, to be honest with you. This guy has nothing much going for him right now. He's actually probably felt Jabari Panther's probably better than him. We'll keep an eye on this guy and probably slide him down. Because what he had on the last tier list is he really had the prestige still going for him. And now that's just gone. That's history. So we're moving on from him. Gwenpool, he still gave her a decent rating here. She's probably not even that good. Hawkeye, Karnak, Taskmaster. I mean, so theoretically, with a 50 to 99 rating, the average rating would probably be a 75. But, we have to kind of look at the curve here. And I want to show you, so I've always said the average rating is a 75. So don't feel bad if the average champ is 75. A bad rating would be closer to 50, like how Daredevil Classic is right now. Moon Knight and these characters, they're just too low. And they're terrible champs. They're just not good at all. You don't want to rank up really any of these champs here. I know Elektra has a couple abilities to slow people down, but she's just not good. It's not worth a rank up. A lot of these champs. So if you really don't know the game too well and you really want to, you're looking up tier lists for information, just don't rank any of these champs down here, man. I mean, it's not worth your time. Anything below a 75, I would say, is just not going to do anything for you. So what I was trying to say here, I kind of just put in this recently. I was looking at something here, and I'm gonna say the average champ, because of the grading curve that I kind of have going here. And I'll give you an example what the grading curve is. Hercules is a 99, and because no one comes close to Hercules, it's just not even close. The second best champ in the game is not even close to Hercules. We have to do a curve. So example would be like Kingpin, Doctor Doom here, or Photon. Some of these champions here towards the top, they could easily be, Doom could be a 95. I actually had Doom at a 95, 96 at some point in time. Same thing with Kingpin, is probably a 95. Right now we could give him a 94 because he is that good. The curve, because Hercules is just so much better than everyone else, we have to give him some. I mean, honestly, the guy should be like 110, 120, but we're not gonna start playing with numbers here. 99 is the highest number, and we're gonna leave it at that. But we have to curve some of our other champions down because they just don't come close. But also here towards the bottom, and we're going to talk more about this curve in a little bit. So the average champ is around an 83, 82, somewhere around there. That's your middle of the road, middle of the pack champions. You can kind of see like a Mojo is just below, around middle of the road. Like this guy could give you a lot of utility. He could do a lot for you if you have him duped, Sig 200 and stuff. I mean, they're not bad. These are good, really good quality champs. They're just the average in the middle. They're not like Mojo, Mephisto, Sorcerer Supreme. They're not your Rintras. They're not Hood. They're not Juggernaut. Those are the champs you definitely want to focus on ranking up if we use your resources there. You don't want to use resources right now on Dr. Voodoo. Mordo is actually pretty good. I mean, as a 7-star, you could rank it. I know some people are ranking him up. And I mean, he's probably rated too low here. I'm going to say he's on his way up. Maybe it's too low. Deathless Guillotine, people are saying she's good, but I haven't even gotten to this side yet. So matter of fact, let's just jump right now to Mystic. We've spent enough time on skill. Doom, the God. Now this guy's taken over here. Absorbent Man. Some could say he's the best champ, best Mystic in the game. Tigra's right there. The top is always Juggernaut. Has made his big move. The Hood has been crushing things. I don't typically use the Hood too much, but everyone's using the Hood, man. This guy's tearing through Maestros right now. So keep in mind, if you need a Maestro counter, this is your guy right here. Werewolf has been crushing the game. He could probably be rated a little higher. But it's tough to just, you don't want to catch recency bias here. Just because this guy is the absolute #1 champ in the recent Battlegrounds meta that just ended. He is that good, but I mean, we're not gonna let a buff there determine, his full value. But I could tell he's worth. I mean, I see people bringing him to war now, so this guy's worth the conversation here. Chavez with that 7-star that came out, just an absolute beast. She used to not be rated too high of a champ, but now she's up there. Rintra, fan favorite, used all over the game, dual purpose. He's a two-way champion, offense, defense. That's the best situation. Same thing with Sasquatch. Sasquatch was more just defense. Now he's also offense, defense. Kushala, gotta put her on the way up. Diablo's always been strong. Kushala's a beast now. Let me not skip over Kushala. She's a beast. Diablo, Wiccan, Clairvoyant. Someone would probably argue with me here, but these are again the same. See this B plus category from Wong. Wong could also be what Wong does, man. In Necropolis is just crazy. And this is another champ I got to get into. I got to really learn this champ, but just seeing him everywhere, I know his value. And he could easily be, some would argue he's probably up here somewhere, where Chavez is and stuff. Some may even say worse, but let's see how it pans out. Mystic Spiders, Symbiote Supreme is one of my favorites. This guy's still, I'm telling you, when you see somebody with buffs, this guy is still an absolute beast, man. It's just that bleed has just been nerfed to the ground. They moved on and everything's bleed immune. And you kind of need him to bleed. I mean, he's still going to eat buffs even if you're bleed immune. But you know what I'm saying. Like, this guy's going to gain crazy power. Scarlet Witch, OG, still really strong. I think she's better than the Sigil Witch by far, in my opinion. White Tiger we spoke about. We're not going to rate just yet. Long Shot is really up there again. Because for some reason, there's a lot of buffs hanging around the game. And man, that's why we got to give Long Shot his credit. Kindred is decent, not the best. Ebony Maw, Sorcerer Supreme. We just talked about some of these champs down here. Like, someone would argue right now, Morningstar, how could she be rated so low? I mean, that's not that low, 79. Actually, it is a little bit below the average here, according to the grading curve. But she's a monster if ramped up, but she has the worst ramp up in the entire game. We have almost 300 champs, and her ramp up is just horrible. I've used Purgatory for the Guillotine Challenge, and I'm not gonna lie, like Purgatory was actually very, very good. I think I was changing her rating here. I'm gonna actually give her a 79. Say she's on her way up to Mangog Mangog could be argued to here to be better. Man-Thing, defense, Dormammu, See, this is where you don't want to rank these champs. I mean, imagine someone pulls this rare Iron Fist Immortal and think that they have like, oh my god, I got this rare. No one's pulled no 6-star Iron Fist Immortal, man. That's like impossible to get. But this guy is just absolute trash. He's not useful at all. Do not rank up even if you get this special champ in some lucky crystal. Stay away. Next, getting down to best class right now in the game to me is probably the Science. And like there could be some controversy here. I know everybody's Scorpion fanatics here. I actually had Scorpion rated a little bit lower right here where Spider-Ham was. And it's just 1 or 2 points less. I'm gonna say that my opinion is really that Spider-Ham's just better. But I kind of, what I did? I had to, I have to watch it again. I have to see the usefulness of this guy. I had to actually make the switches here and put Scorpion back on top. Even though Scorpion is one of those few Science champs that doesn't have the decay for war, he doesn't have that option, and that's kind of what it is. But I didn't want to fall into the recency bias. Scorpion in every meta is he's just a guy. And with all these ridiculous mystics and all this nonsense that we got to deal with in war all the time, the crap that we got to deal with people with like the Chavezes and the Sasquatches, it's just absolutely horrible what we have to deal with. I must say that this is where Scorpion comes in as King Supreme, taking down these horrific champs that we have to deal with on these awful war nodes, these mystic, buffoonery, and then they ban Human Torch, right? So here we go. Photon. I gotta, listen, Photon's damage. People they think it's just defense. They really literally think it's just defense. They don't understand the value of Photons offensively. And I'm gonna tell you why here. See, and that's kind of why I wanted, I rate Scorpion slightly lower, even though I had to give him back his 90. Actually, one of my guys in the Alliance, shout out to Ace of Spades, my guy there. He kind of convinced me recently that, I got to put Scorpion right back to the top, because I think I had him at a 91 right here. And he honestly, he's right. And I did take a peek at KT1's list also, which we could even take a look at here. We gotta take a look at some of these lists here that let's just take a look at KT1's most recent list here. Just to give you an idea. If I can find it here. Just gonna pull it up real quick here. I'm looking for the science one. I'm seeing everything but science right now here. Everything but science. Well, anyway, so yeah, Scorpion. The thing is this. See, science champs now, and look, like I have guys in the Alliance arguing for like Spider-Man 2099, Anti-Venom, Mr. Negative, which is very good champ. Very, very good champ. Maybe an argument could, hit me in the comment box about Mr. Negative and some of these other champs here in science. But I'm gonna say it's because the newest science champs place a ton of debuffs on the enemy, and this is something that we just need. It can prevent a lot of this regen and stuff. And I feel like Photon puts on just so many damn debuffs, man. You do a heavy and put the Sunder debuff on, and all these other debuffs that she stacks just right out the gate. And that's the thing, it's just right out the gate. There's no ramp up, there's no combo meter and all this other BS. Like Anti-Venom, you have to wait for the combo meter. This guy stacks some really nice debuffs to decelerate. He can stop regen. He puts the Spectre on you, but this guy, you gotta wait. You gotta build a combo meter. What if you mess up and get hit? Like, that shit's annoying, man. This chick comes out the gate punching every hit, debuff stacked, and it just goes crazy. And obviously, the real queen of the debuffs is none other than Titania. It's just ridiculous. Titania not only just takes down, mystics, but she takes down all types of champs, man. Her ability to just fight any champ, what she does to cosmics, because she can drop you with the with staggers on her heavy and stuff like that. She prevents all kinds of buff that these idiots get. So she's just versatile in fighting any class that gets buffs or any. She could do a lot, and she could take down a lot of champs. She's not just like curated to take down mystics. So that's why some would argue she's probably the best in the entire science class. And look, she's not far from it, because it's just 1 point away. I would easily give her a 93 also. So matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give Titania and Silk a 93. To be honest with you, it's just ridiculous. And I'll probably give her a 94. And there we go. All right, so Torch has always been the man. We're not going to talk about him. See, Spider-Ham, I ain't going to lie. I got to give it 5 seconds to Spider-Ham. Like, people don't realize what they have when they have a Spider-Ham in their account. My advice is don't wait for a 7-star, man. Rank up they probably have this champ. This is it's a gross mishandling of your roster to have a rank 1, rank 2 Spider-Ham right now. I don't care who you have on. I don't care who you just pull. I don't care if you pull Bishop. You just finally got Warlock or some crazy thing. You rank this guy first. Right now as we speak. Today. Tonight. Rank him now. Use Awakening Gem. Sig him up. Whatever. He doesn't even need any of that crap. This is the gem of all gems on every roster. In my alliance, I can't tell you how many guys... You say, how do we counter this? I say Spider-Ham, and they're like, oh, I don't have, they just, and I get it. Like, we can't rank every champ up, but this champ, you must rank Spider-Ham. If there's anything you take from this video, I'll tell you that. It's him. He's the guy. Matter of fact, I use this guy more than any of these champs, to be honest with you. This guy's on every team I have, in every met, in everything. It doesn't matter if it's questing, BGs. This guy's the god. I had to put him in front of Hulk. Everyone's gonna argue right now. Oh, Hulk, you don't understand. I have Hulk, man. I have the 7-star. I got the 6. I got every rarity. You know what I'm saying? But this guy here solves every problem against every champ in any cap. Anybody. Big maestros, he take them down. I'm telling you. Worst case scenario, you brute force with Spider-Ham, even if you have to take 2 deaths on a champ. He's just gonna obliterate them with and put the right relic on him too, the Ant-Man relic, and this guy's gonna crush everything. Trust me. I almost would say he's the best science champ. I gotta be honest with you. All right, moving on. It's Hulk. Hulk's ratings got to come up. Void back in the meta, and again, Void is one of those wait for the debuffs and you know, dance around. And don't get me wrong, at 200 sig, this guy will melt. And that's the thing, though. This guy will, and that's the only difference here with why he's made a massive comeback, incredible comeback into the game, into the meta, offense and defense. That's what's critical here. But he's just a little bit slower than like Photon just punches you, and Titania, every hit is stacking multiple debuffs. SP3's putting 10 or 20 debuffs on you. It's just crazy. Cassie Lang's the same thing, you know, and she has some, you have to access, there's a learning curve with this girl here. And I don't even use her. And like, that's the thing, if it's going to be a difficult champ, it's going to be hard to rate them. And she might even lose rating here because she's so good. But like, if people don't play the champion, it's going to be hard to rate them high if most people, the majority, don't use that champion. And that's kind of where I'm going with that. Overseer is very much used all the time, but you do have to wait a little bit till his cosmic buff builds up. But this guy's a beast, and he's offense, defense just as well. And his damage is insane. The old Cap Beardo 2099 is probably rated a little bit too high, but this guy still crushes shit. Don't get me wrong. Anti-Venom probably has surpassed him, but I gave him the same rating anyway. Morbius, people love Morbius, and someone might argue. Same with Spot. A lot in this area of the B. It's that B plus. You know, the game is full of B plus champions, and I look at it as a blessing because this game used to be full of just absolute garbage. We had like a game where 80% of the champs were just trash, complete garbage. And now we have a game where we have a lot of very good and we have a lot of great, and then you have a good enough amount of phenomenal, like knock it out the park home run champions. You know, these are all your 90 plus champions. They're just all home runs. You know what I'm saying? But then you get into this like A minus area here with the 88s, and these are, I mean, extremely good. I would urge you to rank all of them up if you had the resources. These are the champs you want to go after, and the list is for this purpose so that you don't get caught up. Say you overlook Cassie Lang, which some people might, because again, the skill crime. But don't overlook Overseer and think you're gonna rank up someone like, I don't know, like if someone pulls a Red Guardian and thinks it was great, Or, I don't know. Let's try to think of, sometimes they pull like, you pull like a Icarus or something, and you think they're like, man, I'm gonna rank this guy up. Like, there's literally players that, probably players that haven't followed the game as well, but people always, even I see, man, I had a guy with a Valiant account asking who should he rank up, right? And he asked, man, who do I rank up? Because he wants to rank 3 to become Valiant. And he said, I have Photon and I have Hulk. And the answers he got was like Hulk from a couple of people. But then when I saw that message, I'm like, are you kidding me? It has to be Photon. Without a shadow of a doubt, it has to be Photon. But but Hulk is still great. So like, to be honest with you, none were the wrong answer. She's just a little bit better. She's just a little bit better, and her defensive property will probably take her over the edge. But man, I'm telling you, that girl offensively she melts. You have no idea, man. Her utility is insane. The untouchable, that they can't stun, you can't get caught stunned. Her, man, I can't say enough. Anyway, moving on. Quicksilver's been falling down. You got I-Bomb, Spot, Thing. Thing is still really, really, really strong. These champs like Immortal, Hulk, Nuke champs, I had them at a 90 last time, because any champ that can nuke, this guy could shave off so much health. It's just insane. Negative, Jessica Jones, Joe broke it here, Spider, Gwen, Sandman. A lot of people think Sandman is so great. And I don't see it, man. He has some utility there, but he don't have the damage. He's still decent. If you rank him all the way, again, it's recency bias a lot of times. New champs, everybody just, we want Sandman to be great, but he's not that great. He's good. He's like average good, but he's not great. He's not phenomenal. He's not this. They think like, they make it sound like, you see in chat rooms, it's talking about this guy like he's a 92, like he's up here with Titania or something. And it's just not true. So don't fall for it. Like, I don't see it. Hit me in the comment box if you really think this guy is worth something. But I'm telling you, like, he has the immunities, but I'm not seeing it. He's just not that good. I mean, I would take Void any day over the Hulk. You would never. Why would I rank Sandman over the Incredible Hulk, who after his buff is just outstanding? All right, so you can see the garbage down here. Moving along, Mutant class. Kitty Pryde, I'm still going to give her the crown, even though KT1 kind of took her off his list and kind of lowered her value, even though Mutant class is the worst class right now. It really is. But I want to speed through this now. Onslaught, this guy got a super high rating here for a brand new champ. I don't even have this champ yet, but I'm going off of what I see throughout my alliance and throughout the game in general. Like, this guy is really, he's a beast, man. That neuro shock that no one's immune to, I guess that shit is crazy. You know what I mean? To take him down, though, man, Havoc is really the answer, man. Havoc will melt him without touching him. Well, you do still have to touch him, but Havoc is the counter. I don't even want to put that out there too much, because like a lot of people still don't know that Havoc just gains all those charges and just melts this guy down, especially in Alliance War. All right, so Bishop's at the top, man. I'm not gonna spend time talking about him, but he just is. Domino's back strong. Apocalypse fell down a little, but because he used to be the top mutant, and he's just fallen out. In Battleground, the thing is, his attachment to Cable is what ruined his greatest strength is his greatest weakness, man. He needs Cable on the team. It is what it is. But his ability to do the Horseman thing and really turn these mutants into something special is just always gonna be a great thing. What he does for Cable also is great. Archangel, it's just tough that, what Archangel has done for us since 2016. For us, it would just be a tragedy to say, hey, Onslaught's just better than it. Like, everyone's saying Onslaught's the best mutant. Maybe he is. And in fact, this list shows that I have him pretty much as the best. He's just one off the best. So, I mean, there's no argument there. But I might have rated him too high. You know what I'm saying? Because to put him where Archangel is, the most consistent, the guy who has carried us this far, the things he's done, and we're just gonna go ahead and put Onslaught right in front of him. Do y'all understand like what we're doing here? But I can see guys right now rage quitting right now, like not rage quitting, but raging out. Oh my God! He put Onslaught is not number one. I could see people doing that shit right now. And it's for no reason, because 91, 92, 93 is the same shit. He's right here. Now, if I put Onslaught here, like where Strife is, then yeah, do that. By all means, blast me in the comments, destroy me, insult me all you want. That's the reason why Seaton stopped making these lists, for people blasting him for some of these takes. Do it. There might be, and I just landed here on Danny Moonstar. I'm going to say she's on her way up after the buff, but she didn't come out really as a good champ. I got to be honest here. She didn't seem to be, obviously we got to play more with her, test her out and all that stuff, but it just didn't come out that good. The buff seems to be pretty decent, but we'll have to wait and kind of see. Sunspot's up there, Storm. Back in the meta. Magneto is on his way down, but we kind of gotta. No one wants to play Magneto. I mean, the guy's too slow, but he's truly still the best at what he does when it comes to taking out metal champs. Especially when it's some kind of boss some metal boss, some BS boss. His ability to just lower the the AAR on these champs is the best thing ever. Lower their ability accuracy and just obliterate them with an SP3. That's why he's, but you wouldn't pick him first choice unless you had to. Iceman back in the meta, man. This guy's killing everything. Battlegrounds, he's a god. Omega Red's back to some degree. Namor, I still gotta give him his props. Havoc's probably past Namor by now. I think I was on my way doing that. That's why, there's the race. Storm X probably is above some of these other champs also, like White Magneto. White Magneto's just an assist champ. Really, really great assist champ. And assist champs, I mean, we got to give props to our assist champs like Heimdall. I mean, Heimdall's not rated high on this list at all, and we'll get to him in a moment. But, what he does for the other people, he's just a horrific champ on his own. He's terrible. One of the worst. But what he does to save everyone else is just so gold. Anyway, Toad, Cable, Danny, Colossus, who's kind of slowly falling down, Profex, Sauron. And again, in this area here, in the B- area, there could be an argument here about some of the champs. Some people might say they like Wolverine. I could tell I was moving Wolverine up. I was about to shift them up here somewhere. Emma Frost, Strife, if you ramp him up, he has a horrible ramp up also. Kinda. He's for long form content, so whatever. Jubilee, Sabretooth, all these pools are not really saying much, but Platinum Pool's probably the better one, because he does have the speed kills if you're fighting lower rated champs. X-Force, Nightcrawler, and then the garbage. That's probably the worst champ in the entire game. Beast. Moving on. Future Ant-Man's the top champ here. He's just, him and Shuri are the top two tech champs. Ghost, still up there. Warlock. Iron Man is a man with raids. Now, this is the god. You know what's crazy is that Iron Man regen at 5% or whatever has never really been good. It's never really been something we cared about. It never really helped you. And now in raids, it's just the best thing ever. It just gives you all that regen, and you're back in the fight. And he'll take you to your 10% to make to time. Either you'll time out. His armor ups, man, 1920 armor up. He's just, the sustainability. It's so good to see that the sustainability finally matters. Because in most content, you just get beat down and you die. You die from some stupid node or some garbage or some kind of take damage because of, man, even in raids, you still it's the same thing times 100. But I'm just saying, like, this guy's gonna take you much further than the rest. Same thing with Hulkbuster, and that's why he's rated so high here. Ultron's the man. Nimrod, Omega Sentinel has a lot of those qualities also to be sustainable. Deathstrike's being used a lot. She has, the right utilities. The fact that she could really take a beating on a special is a really unique ability. I think she needs more damage yet still, and you kind of have to ramp her up. That's what I hate the most. Stark Spider's in position because he's really bounced back. I don't really like him or use him at all, but I see what's going on in the community. I can't just focus on me. I have to focus on everyone, the entire community. A lot of people make a case for Vision. Shocker, I see. Oh man, I got a lot of arguments about Shocker. I still don't think this guy's good. I think he's decent, but I mean, they're like, you know what the thing is? People they pull a 7-star Shocker, right? And they're going nuts, like as if the guy's right up here with future Ant-Man, or he's the next Shuri, or he's like a ghost, or there's no place for this guy in the game. There's no place for his damage. Damage is always capped somewhere. And then you have the play style, like, and I understand he just got buffed and he's better, but man, I'm telling you, like, he just doesn't. You haven't even been able to go into like battlegrounds and unlock that damage, really. I don't think so. I mean, there could be a meta that comes any moment that the guy might shine, but he's not what like people are making him out to be. Like, everyone was trying to rank 3 to like, are you gonna waste rank 3 resources on Shocker? I mean, and I get it. There's no 7-star future Ant-Man, but I would just put those resources on Shuri. And I'm not saying you have to wait for. I mean, maybe you can't wait. Now, let's say Shocker's your best option, and you don't have really. Let's say you don't have Shuri. I wouldn't wait too long to like pull Shuri. You may never get her, because Nimrod's not a 7-star. Ultron now is, Hulkbuster is, and Lady Deathstrike is. So I mean, I look, he's not that far off. He's an 86, she's an 87. Hulkbuster. There's no future Ant-Man as a 7-star. But there is Shuri. There's no Ghost. There is Warlock. So Warlock would be the better. Iron Man would be the better decision. So look, focus on Warlock, Iron Man, Ultron, Hulkbuster. And I mean, I guess if you have none of them if you're gonna become Valiant and you really want to rush it, then maybe you do it. But Shocker's just not gonna give you too much, man. That's my opinion. Anyway, moving on. Infamous Iron Man, another champ. He does get used, but he's not that good. He's decent. He's a B, but he's not what they make it out like. He's not Doctor Doom. He's not Victor Von Doom. He's just Infamous Iron Man is. It's a big disappointment and a big letdown, man. And I don't think his power control is that good. Like, you might stop an SP3 you might take off 2% when a person has an SP3 or whatnot, but I don't think he has some utility though. He does come in for some fights and he does have use, and defensively he's good in almost all BG metas. So I'm not knocking him. He's not a low rated champ, but he's just not a 95. He's an 85. Sam Wilson, Guardian, Guillotine 2099. I think she has a horrific play style. That ramp up is atrocious. Even though we needed her for the Deathless Guillotine. Mysterio, Nebula, War Machine, Duck. A lot of people argue for Silver Centurion. I won't dispute you. A lot of people argue for this guy, but man, I mean, you're gonna rank up Centurion over Hulkbuster, Omega Sentinel. I mean, like Ultron. Let's just say like Ultron. I mean, he's good for those shocks. I ain't gonna lie. Iron Man Infinity War is popping up everywhere here. He's not good. He's just not good. The Visions. We're not going to spend time talking about any of these garbage champs down here either. Screw them. Moving along, let's end our video here with Cosmic Class here. The God of all gods. No, nothing to talk about there. Hulkling second best. I had to go with Hyperion. So let's look at what KT1 has here. See, KT1's top cosmics. He's got Hercules, Hulkling, Gallon, CGR Venom, Adam Warlock, Null, Hyperion, Nova. Like, so look, the realization here is that Nova is a really good champ. That's we've all gotten it wrong for a long time on tier lists. This guy's a beast. Vox and Gory kind of put a 10 and 11 here. So I just want you to kind of see what he had there. And, I put Hyperion much higher. This guy's bounced back. And that's 7-star, man. He doesn't need to be duped. I would rank this guy up. That power gain is just crazy. The utility he has is insane. And the damage. See, he's a real damage dealer, a utility god. Incinerate off SP1. And that power gain is priceless in today's world. Because you know what? They're not throwing specials. The Tinkerer has went in for Kabam, tweaked the friggin' AI to screw us all over for the money. That's all it is. And this guy is your saving grace here. This guy's going to gain the power and just crush them without having to attack them. He quickly gets to SP3 without doing anything, and he'll crush the opponent. You follow what I'm saying? CGR, Venom, Gallon. Gallon is, I'm not even going to say nothing right now. Gallon is great, but I'm not going to say he's up here. It's just, I don't see it. Again, he's still got the Knight. He's still the top champ. Rank him all the way up. He's the guy. No. Adam Warlock, the Glaive. Someone might argue the Glaive is still so. This guy has carried us, man, for half a decade, man. We can't shit on Corvus Glaive, man. Still, right now in Map 7, you still need this guy. Crushes everything in Map 7. The ability to stay alive. That's what we have to look at. Same thing with Hercules. Because Hercules saves you so much real world money. Units and actual real world money and insane content where you would just die. That's why he's the 99. And these guys like Future man, Kitty Pryde has that thing. She could take SP3s with the phase. She could tank SP3s. Who else can do that? Very few champs. Most of the champ SP3, you're dead. Kingpin. As great as these champs are, Kingpin, Photon, Doctor Doom, they're still gonna die. And this guy's not gonna die. When he's about to die, he only gets stronger. He gets unblockable. This guy. So let's not even spend any more time talking about it. Angela, she's probably on her way down a little bit, but if you got a 200 sig and the ability to just get rid of all debuffs is so special. Gore is just a beast, man. I think he's gonna keep rising up. I didn't know he was as good as he is offensively, and this guy, his utility offensively is insane, man. Gamora's damage is crazy, but she does lack utility. Vox on his way up. Arcus, a lot of people love Arcus. Maestro, Maestro's defensive, but truthfully, I try. This guy's gonna be able to do something offensively. It just takes time to ramp him up. And on defense, absolute nightmare. Odin has really, really good damage, but again, he's an assistance champion. He does some great things there. King Groot, you got Deathless, where we're not going to rate him yet. Ronan is the cheese. I used to have him rated even higher, because what this guy can do to buffs is just holy. Make sure you have your Ronan ready, man. He's the only, this is one of the only champs that a 4 or a 5-star, a low rank 5, that you bring in a rank 1 5-star and you just crush the opponent. See, that's what we want. That's what we need more of. We need more champs like this. And that's I think with 265 champs, there should almost always be a cheese for every champ. That's why Doom can't lose his crown, because Doom, it slaps you in the corner to oblivion. Do you even understand what Doom is still slapping the shit out of him, man. just slapping the shit out of him, man. You know, White Tiger, she just gains a buff every time, knocked down. So you just go in and just corner slap, doom slap her. Every month we get something and we could just cheese him in the corner. Gladiator, boss, Thronebreaker difficulty, Cavalier. What is not Cavalier, but it's whatever that difficulty is, man. Paragon, Gauntlet, nonsense. Just look at this. This is Gladiator. That's it, man. Cheese God. Dr. Doom. Victor Von Doom. Okay? Don't put some respect on his name, man. Don't never you ever disrespect Dr. Doom by trying to say Hood is better and all this BS that I see out there all the time. Put some respect on that man's name. You gotta do the same with Ronan, man. Ronan the Accuser. Like, this guy's so true to his comic book nature where he just gonna use that hammer and accuse you of having all those buffs and just psh, that's the end of you. And it's just the most satisfying thing in the game, in a game full of BS, garbage ass, unavoidable damage and all this bullshit. Ronan is the savior, and so is Von Doom. Got Medusa here. Cap Marvel. I don't know if she's kind of like, looks like she's coming back. Cersei's very good. I don't know about Silver Surfer here. He's still decent. He's just the average champ, in my opinion. Venom Pool has a lot of good qualities. Still just average. He's just not better than... I mean, what do you could say he's better than King Groot for sure. Maybe. I mean, what is he? 82, 84, same thing. Yeah, close enough. You could argue. Drop me a comment. We'll talk about that one. Icarus, OG Thor is still pretty good. See, like, okay, somebody would say right here, the champion, man. Have you seen what Suida does with, like, what Suida does with every champion? Right? Like, or MSD or whoever, like, what they do with these champions, right? But, like, let's be honest here. Like, I ain't gonna lie. When I seen the video what he did, I want to rank up champion that very minute. I was gonna rank his ass up and start you. But I'm like, look, let's be honest here. Like, are we gonna see in your line? Is it maybe? Let's say you just did it for you. Okay, good. So, but is he gonna be now a 88, a 89, a 90, a 95? Just because you ranked them up and you learned how to use them? Like, no one wants to deal with that ramp up. And like, it's just never gonna happen. Almost any champ could be great. It's true though. Like, if you took a Spider-Gwen and ranked her to rank 5 and ascended her or something, she would do incredible things. I'm not gonna lie, but you're probably still better off ranking up the Overseer or Titania than her, because Titania's gonna be 10 times better than she would at the same rank. It's just the way the game is designed. So like, the champion doing all that crazy stuff, like, and I ain't gonna lie, that dude he was saving them. I mean, it's insane, but it's not worth it, man. You have enough cosmic champions that are phenomenal that you're not gonna waste your time. Like, and if it just because a few guys rank up one champ and do amazing things on YouTube or whatever, even if one guy in your alliance was doing amazing things, it doesn't quantify that most people are not gonna rank that champ up and use them. Most people are not gonna do it. And that's what the tier list is designed for, the majority. Now, you always see people ranking up obscure, like, I have people in my alliance that rank up these obscure champs, and you're just looking at them like, why? And I get it. At least they're a little bit different. They're not the same old, like, everyone has the same exact champs and stuff. That's why people do their defensively. They rank up obscure champs to play defense. But on offense, everyone's using the same winners. You know what I mean? And when you see these guys coming with obscure champs, it's like, what is you doing? Like, you don't understand the game, or you don't... These guys don't look on YouTube either, though. They don't seek information. They don't go on forums. They don't look at... They might ask a few times in an alliance, but they don't, like, watch the guy next to them and see that everyone's using Iron Man now. They don't look up and say, man, everybody's bringing Silk to war. or Titania to war, or the Hood, or they don't see everybody using Tiger, or like, a better example would be like how everyone's using, I would say Iron Man's still the best example, or Diablo, but they're still like ranking like, oh, they'll tell you they like an obscure champ. Like, I'll give you an example. I see people using Venom the Duck. Trash. Trash. Garbage. And I get it. I was actually a Venom the Duck fan when he first came out. I thought when he first came out, now this guy he had some unique abilities, and that was the time, the era of the ramp up, where I could take something from this fight and go to fight number 2 and number 3 and number 4 with that. Now look, this guy is great in incursions dungeons, but he ain't good nowhere else. I had a guy taking this guy to every war, AQ, and all that. I'm like, why do you keep using this champ, man? I had to get on his neck, and like, if he ever died, every time he died, whatever, like, I would ride him for, why are you taking Venom? And then another guy one time defended him and said, Venom the Duck, I like that guy. I'm like, I don't know what these guys are talking about. Number one, this guy had a 7-star Venom the Duck. The guy's not dupe. If the guy's not dupe, he can't carry the combo. So what are you doing taking him to the next fight? I get it. If he carries his buff to the next fight and you ramp him up, this guy is deadly. When he gets 10 buff, well, like, to get him to really speed it up, you got to have Venom on the team, the synergy. But like, and I get it. Rank up who you like and have fun in the game that way. But, you're in a competitive alliance. You're in a top alliance and you're doing this, like, no one, and then, yeah, officers are gonna ride the guy. Like, that guy actually eventually got kicked because he was dying using this damn Venom the Duck nonsense, and he would swear to God that the guy was great. Like, the guy is not good. Just stop it. Use this guy in a quest. Go to map Act 8 and Act 7 and use him there where nobody has to see you using him. But we don't want to see, like, I have another guy in my alliance. Shout out to MV30, man. All my guys there, man. Much love to my team over there. We do a lot of good things over there. But, of course, you got some guys. Everyone knows there's guys ranking up obscure champs in your alliance right now, and everybody's looking like, I don't know what just happened there. Like, that's crazy. Like, Cull Obsidian. Come on, man. No use in the game. Like, you'll see people online arguing about Airwalker, and I see people arguing Red Goblin. Like, you're gonna rank Red Goblin, but you have 20 champs here. Everything here and above is what you should rank. I mean, I'm not saying you should, rank who you want, but I'm just saying, like, that's the smart decision. So anyway, Cull Obsidian rank Airwalker. After a couple fights, this guy can really credit. But again, you heard the keyword, a couple fights. That's the problem. We don't have a couple fights. Every fight is a critical fight. Like, in war, you can't ramp anything in war because every fight's a critical fight. The only champ you can ramp is like Hercules, like, because he's good with no charges. Like, Hercules is better with 0 charges than 90% of the game, if not the entire game. No charges, and he's still better than everybody else. It's just, that's how ridiculous. Anyway, Red Goblin, I know people like him. He's a decent champ. He's not that low. Skrull, Nihilus, Heimdall, Hela, what she could do with keeping herself alive. But, I still, even Proxima Midnight, I think, gives you more value. Because she can unlock some damage, even though she has like a shocker count. You can never get to her true damage. There's just nowhere to drop 1,000,000 damage, anymore. There's damage caps everywhere and all that. But the way health pools are set up now, though, she has some value. She's going to come back to be something. And she has some synergy, so she's not that bad. Phoenix is a beast if, in certain maps, in the higher tier alliances, you needed Phoenix, back in the day, a few years ago for some of those map 7s and stuff. Symbiote Spider-Man ain't no good. And then that's it. We're gonna close the video out here with a lot of these sorry ass champs here. You can see that, there's the most champs in the game. We have 50 cosmic champs. 41 tech is the lowest amount right now. 42 here, and so on. And the weakest class right now is probably Mutant, and then probably Skill. Tech needs some help though this year because they're light on champ. They're light on like top tier champs too. And Mutants they need to be saved. Mutants is the worst right now. So anyway, we're gonna conclude there, man. It's been a long video, man. Like, subscribe, man. Shout out to MV30 again and the guys over there. And see you in the next one, man. Drop some comments and we'll chop it up. We'll discuss. We'll make some tweaks based on some of the arguments I see in the comments. All right. So without further ado, man, that's it, man. And I'm out.